Well, welcome back to another week's analysis behind the news. Now, a few weeks ago, I talked about immigration, and that I felt that the recent surge of immigration across the border has been planned. These things don't happen spontaneously. You don't get crowds gathering or moving towards a common goal by happenstance. It's something that is done deliberately by somebody. There has been nothing that has altered my opinion in that regard relative to immigration. In fact, it's only reinforced it. One of the things that we need to talk about in regard to this is the fact that there are a number of things that are done to be able to change society. Now, I've mentioned before that society is reflected in its government. If you have a moral code, a moral base, then you have a society based on that morality. And that society will build a government suitable to that morality, which was done in our country, for instance. You can find all sorts of quotes from Washington, Adams, so on and so forth. Madison, talking about the fact that we have a moral religious society and that our government is based on that. In fact, it won't work for other than a moral and religious society. If you read the Communist Manifesto as well, you'll discover that the Communist Manifesto is a very interesting document when looked at by the view of a wordsmith, for instance. Most people have this idea that the communists are involved in a revolution. They want to have a revolution. We're going to overthrow the government, kill off a bunch of people, and then we'll all live in harmony. Well, if you read the Communist Manifesto, that's not really what it talks about. What it talks about is changing society, overthrowing the old social order. Because they know that if you've got a society, and if you don't change that society, when you effect a revolution in the government, that society will have a counter-revolution kicking you out. So they have to change society to do that. Now, there are a number of ways of doing that serve as catalysts. They are war, terror, crises, economic, natural disasters, whatever, and immigration. They know that war is the best. Now, it's not changes in society in the country you're warring against. It's changes in society in your own country to win the war. That the population will do just about anything in order to win the war. Big patriotic move. They'll have new regulations, new taxes, a cop on every corner, anything in order that they can be convinced will help win the war. They'll do it. They'll fall for it, and it'll never come back after the war to the extent of freedom that you had before the war.